Hey guys, Slade, grade level collectibles. Wanted to mix it up. I'm outside in nature. I had a couple thoughts and wanted to express them and wanted to talk about it. Obviously, this is not my really nice camera, just my phone, and the audio is whatever probably. But as I walk around this closed library, not closed, but it's Sunday and it's past 5, so this library, certain things popped up in my head of I wanted to talk about. And what it is, as you can see in the description, is do not make Pokemon your full-time job. Do not. And the reason I say that is what I'll get into. So the people who, in 2020, especially in 2020, there were so many card shops that opened up and, were selling Pokemon cards nowadays, and they were selling whatever. And it was, I would say it was a kind of a good time because, nobody was getting MSRP Pokemon. Nobody was getting a lot of these card games at MSRP because they would go to their local Walmart and they would be nothing, just bare nothing. And the only way to get these cards, these products, was through distribution. And the only way to get distribution prices is if you have a distribution license. And the only way to do that is to become a business. So there was a lot of people that just piled in the door, like, okay, hey, I'm a Pokemon seller now. I'm a game store, and so I'm gonna. Here's my business, here's my shelves, here's whatever, can I have a license now? And so there was a lot of people who did that and were successful for a couple years. And then trouble came when Pokemon actually started printing a whole lot more products, printing a whole lot more stuff, and interest waned. And then you had products in Walmart. You didn't have the crazy stuff that everyone was going after, but you had products. And then there was more products, and there was more products, and more, more people's opinions on, or not opinions, but interests wane. And then these game stores was like, hey, what's going on? I'm paying distribution prices, and Walmarts are doing these sales, and they're below my distribution prices that I purchased them for. And then the game stores really had a tough time. There has been some great game stores that have surpassed and that have maintained the popularity, like Cardinal Gaming's. I don't know, he calls it Cardinal. I think he's Cardinal CNA. I think he calls it CNA Games now. But he was very successful. I think a large portion of that was because of his YouTube channel, because of his success and his opinions, obviously, and everything, but all his exposure on YouTube that really probably drove a lot of people to his store, to his online store. And that's just the environment that we're in, that you have to be exposed online, and you have to, especially if you're an online business as well. Obviously he's in store, but he does stuff online and everything. You just have to be part of it, because if you're not, then you're really cutting out a large portion of your customers that could reach you. And so, but those are some success stories. But there were so many people, so many card stores, as this light blisters through. Jeez. So many card stores that did not stand the test of time and failed and declared bankruptcy and just did not go through with their operations of the stores. And a big portion is what I'm going to talk about today, where in collectibles, Pokemon is very unique in the manner that it seems like all the time it's hot, in the sense of, the Pokemon market is made up of multiple different sections. You have obviously the TCG, you have the gaming aspect of it, then you have the collecting aspect of it, and then you have the different languages of it. And then you have the Pokemon Go and all the culture behind Pokemon. It's very unique. It's why it's the most successful IP ever in existence. is because it has so many different facets and so many different customers that are in different sects of the market and sects of the ecosystem of Pokemon. So that's why Pokemon has been so successful and is very unique in that manner. But we've been very lucky because of that. But with these booms that were in 2020 and some part last year too, and these bust cycles, is that with game stores, it doesn't matter about these booms or busts. The rent doesn't fluctuate depending on if it's really, really good in the market or it's not so good in the market, or not so, there's lots of customers coming in. Rent is due on the 15th every single month, or the 1st or the 15th or whatever, every single month, depending on if you sell, $100,000 worth of product or you don't sell $100,000 worth of product. It's still there. It's called a fixed cost, and there's still the rent guy's going to come over like, hey, where's my money? You gotta pay employees, you gotta pay rent, you gotta pay, your subscriptions that, I use like Canva, I use, eBay store, and so there's fixed costs for that too. Those don't change. Those stay consistent throughout any types of boom or bust periods. So that is the number one concern, number one problem with running a game store, is that there are fixed costs and you have to find a way to make that money, or it's coming from somewhere. Like, you can't just close your doors for a month and open up the next month when it's a good time to sell. God, this light is crazy. I'm going over here. There we go. You can't do that, and so you have to find a way to survive. And a lot of times, the game stores, they choose to sell product that's hot and product that maybe a lot of people are speculating on, and they lose out on these upticks in the market. Where, I'll give you an example, Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies came out right out of the gate. People loving the set. I think it came out in 2021, 2022, I can't remember. But it came out of the gate. People, if game stores bought them at $80, like, okay, great. There was a lot of demand for it. We sold out instantly. Awesome. We made our 20 to 30%, and there's no product. Oh, wait. Pokemon's out of stock? Can't order anymore? Well, how are we going to pay next month's rent? That's the thing, where if you just fire sell everything, especially the hot product, you'll be stuck with a lot of not so moving product. And that's the thing about distribution as well. Like, I know Mason has talked about this with Cardinal Gaming, where there's certain things that these distribution places do, where they're like, hey, if you want this hot set of like Evolving Skies or whatever the thing that came out, there's 151. Hey, if you want to buy 2 boxes of 151, you also have to buy this, I don't know, like a lunchbox tin or whatever. And because nobody really wants the lunchbox tins, but everyone wants the 151 stuff. And these obviously out the distribution prices, and they're like guaranteed profit. So that's what distribution does. And sometimes I forgot what specific distribution place does that, but a lot of them do. Where if you want to you can't just take the good stuff, you have to take the bad stuff as well. And you got to figure out how to break that stuff down and sell it. And that's where it can really be very tricky, because if you're not, if you have to buy all this product that's essentially kind of dead product, you have to find somehow to move it. And if you just instantly fire sell it and take a loss on it, all that profit that you made on the good stuff that you were selling could be eroded by all the fire selling that you've been doing on this dead product. So it's like a tiptoe type of dance you got to go on. And so instead, that's scenario A. Scenario A, open a game store, you're doing all this. It's not in the boom cycle and everything. You got to make your money, you got to make whatever to survive. And you're doing it just by the skin of your teeth. And there's been very, very successful people in doing it. like, you know, Cardinal Gaming, obviously, but and a lot of other people. But scenario B, I would say it's pretty much the, you know, person that does this part-time, the person that has a 9-to-5 job. They're going to work, they're doing their thing, and when they come home, they may be looking at a few videos, they may, you know, go online, buy some few stuff, and they just stick in the closet. Where if you just do that, then you are more likely in a position where you can have greater success. Even after not getting it on distribution, you know, prices, you know, not getting all these kickbacks from being an LLC and everything. And even if you're an LLC, like, you can still do this part-time. Like, I have an LLC, and I have a lot of benefits in doing that. But the biggest thing is that you aren't directly in line, directly like connected via the vein in Pokemon, where, you know, when prices shoot up, like Evolving Skies, you know, when stuff, you know, shot up in price, I had so many things that I didn't list online that I'm glad I didn't list online, because things shot up, you know, twice in price. And when things shoot up that fast, everyone and their mother just scavenge the internet and tries to find things that are $100, $50 below the market price, and they just soak up that stuff. But if you don't have it listed, it's not listed and it's not selling. So a lot of my stuff, like I had a Gengar VMAX that had PSA10 in it, that I have another one in grading right now. So I was like, oh, you know, at at $700, you know, why not sell it now? And for the longest time, I didn't have that card listed. It's because it was, you know, I actually pulled it. It was like a card that I pulled, and I was very kind of like, oh my gosh, this is, I love, you know, Gengar VMAX for the longest time, it was only like a $400 card or whatever. But when the prices shot up, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can list it. I can buy, you know, I bought a Gengar VMAX in Japanese, which I would have loved specifically instead of the other one. And so I ended up buying like 2 Gengar VMAXs in like PSA10 for the same price I sold one English. But anyway, that's just what it is right now. But those types of scenarios are more common than the type of scenario where, you know, you're successful on creating a very, very profitable business through buying and selling on distribution prices. And again, this could be just scenario based on where, because we've had these booms and busts, and, you know, English is doing really, really well, where these could be anomalies where, you know, the English market is doing really well, and then 2 years from now, the Japanese market will do really well, and then it flips flops or whatever. But I've seen the most success in a lot of people by just doing this part-time, buying the things that you like, buying maybe 2 of everything that you like. And so when it gets to a point where, you know, the prices become really, really good, you can sell that one card and you'll still have the other one just to have. So I don't think it's so very risky to do that, to open up a business and to, you know, pay employees and all this kind of stuff, where instead of, you know, stressing the heck out on doing all this kind of stuff, you could just work your job on the side, or not on the side, work your job full time, and then just do Pokemon on the side. And then it's like the best of both worlds. When, you know, the prices are doing really well, sell, and the prices are not doing well, you know, buy a little bit here and there. But so those are kind of just my thoughts and opinions on the matter. And hopefully this wasn't too distracting, me just walking in circles around area. But I wasn't home at the moment. I just wanted to shoot this just to have my initial thoughts and opinions on the matter. But put your comments down below, and, you know, if you agree, disagree, whatever. But that's just what I've seen. You know, I'm always a person to optimize. I'm always a person to see the best value in things, and I see such a great value in just doing this part-time, in just making your regular paycheck, and then, you know, you can close the computer. You don't have to be in tune with the market at all, and you can just sleep easy. Where some of these game store owners are just sweating bullets when they're sleeping. They're sweating bullets like, oh man, how am I going to pay next month's rent? Where you don't have that. You don't need that. So that's my opinions on the matter. Let me know if you enjoy this shaky video, me just rambling on at a library. But let me know, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you guys later.